Good morning, dear students of class 11th. Beta, we have completed our first chapter, the Kite Maker. So today, I'm going to explain with reference to the context of some important passages of this chapter. The first passage I have taken, that is in front of you. Not many people bought the river bank. Before going to start explanation with the reference to the context, I want to say you, don't forget to write reference, context and explanation. You have already been given some idea by Sister Principal how to write reference, how to write context, how to write explanation. Sister Marcia and Sister Preeti also has guided you. So, I am not going to explain here much about this. I want to say only these are very much important. So, the reference. See the reference. These lines have been taken from the lesson The Kite Maker, written by Ruskin Bond. Now, context. These lines tell us that no one bought the kite these days and there were no open grounds left for flying kites. Now see the explanation of this important passage. Explanation. The writer says that nowadays not many people buy kites. Adults dislike them and children like to see movie as compared to kite flying. So they prefer to spend their money on watching movies. See the next here. Sometime back there used to be a big green ground between the old fort and the river bank. People gathered there to fly kites. But with growing population, city expanded and houses were also made on the green ground and there was no open ground to fly kites. In this way, we have completed this first passage explanation. Let me open the next. Here, the second passage I have taken the disk decreasing in could manage it. Now again I am telling you a reference of the same chapter will be same. Like in the previous passage you have written the reference. So you have to write the same as you did in passage 1. Now see the context. Here you have to see how to write the context. This passage describes that Mahmud was very popular for, let me open. So Mahmud was very much popular for making special kites. At the request of the Nawab, he once made a very special kind of kite, and it was a wonderful kite, known as the dragon kite. Now see the explanation. The kite which Mahmud made at the request of the Nawab was very special. It consisted of series of small and very light discs made out of paper. These paper's discs were hanging on a thin bamboo frame, and in order to balance the kite, he tied a tuft of grass, a thick grass, to the extreme point of each disc. The surface of the foremost disc was slightly curved. See how creative Mahmud was. Mahmud painted a fantastic face on it, which had 2 eyes made of small mirrors, and the discs were decreasing in size from head to tail, and which made the kite like a crawling snake. here add L here. Okay, by mistake I forgot to write here. Crawling snake. See, here we have completed two important passages. Now I have taken here the third important passage. So the third passage is what? Both were taken dash 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 fierce son. Okay. Reference same as earlier you have written. Okay. Now see the context. When Mahmud grew old, things had changed also. Life became so busy and materialistic that people had no time to show any interest and attention to old Mahmud and the ancient banyan tree. Both were regarded of no importance now. They were neglected by all. Here, the writer points out the lack of interest of people towards the banyan tree. The people now became so busy and lived a life of much hurry and worry. They had no time to assemble under the ancient banyan tree to talk about their problems and programs. The tree was ignored by everyone. Occasionally, someone came to sit in its shade to get relief from the scorching heat of summer days. You can understand here in a very simple language. I have written this explanation over here. See the next important passage here. Here there is a great affinity dash 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 last live. What is the meaning of the affinity over here? Affinity means what? Similarity. So reference will be same. Now see the context. But don't forget to write reference. In every passage you have to write reference, then context and then explanation. Now see the context. In this passage, the writer compares the man with the trees. According to him, both grow similarly. See how? What are those similarities? See, in explanation part, the writer says that there are some common qualities in trees and human beings. They are similar in many ways. They have good growth if they get the chance to live peacefully. No harm should be done to them. They should be given proper food and nourishment, and these things help in their proper development. Human beings are bright and cheerful when they are young and grown up. In old age, they lose their strength. In the similar way, in the same way, trees become weak when they grow old and shed their last leaf. So these were the similarity between tree and human being. Let me scroll the next. Here the another important passage is Mahmud was like dash of youth. Reference same you have done earlier. That same you have to write here. Now see the context. In this passage, the writer compares a tree to man. He compares Mahmud to the banyan tree and Ali to mimosa plant. See the answer. The writer compares Mahmud to the old banyan tree. Like the tree, Mahmud has grown very old. His hands have become knotty and twisted like the roots of the old banyan tree. The hands of the Mahmud became so much rough, just like the root of the old banyan tree. His grandson Ali, on the other hand, has been compared to young mimosa plant. Do you know what is mimosa plant? Mimosa plant is also known as what? Touch me not plant. आपने हिंदी में सुना होगा, साइंस अगर आपने पढ़ा होगा तो छुई मुई का एक पौधा होता है जिसे आप जैसे ही आप टच करेंगे तो बिल्कुल शर्मा सी जाती, सिकुड़ सी जाती है, तो उसके पत्ते जो होते हैं बिल्कुल एक डायरेक्शन में सारे मूव कर जाते हैं. तो टच मी नॉट प्लांट इज नोन एज व्हाट? मिमोसा प्लांट. He looked very young like the mimosa plant at the end of the courtyard. The writer, see once again, he looked like Ali looked very young like the mimosa plant did. यानी कि अली जो है वो किसकी तरह यंग लगता है? बिल्कुल मिमोसा प्लांट की तरह, जो कहाँ प्लांट किया गया है? प्लांटेड एट द एंड ऑफ द कोर्टयार्ड. The writer further says that in 2 years both Ali and the mimosa would gather strength, they will become stronger, and confidence, which are the characteristic of youth. In other words, both would grow at the same pace. So here is also comparison is done. Okay. Now see the next one. Important passage has been I have taken here. It consisted of dash 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 crawling serpent. Okay. So some common question has been given also in your exercise. So no need to explain this one because this is the common question which you have already done in explanation part of B question. Okay. So this is the same explanation. So if in exam it comes, then write the answer of this one only, what you have done already in explanation B. Now the next one is what? Suddenly afraid dash the blue sky. Let me open the page. Here reference same as you have done earlier. Now context. In this passage, Ali was standing at the courtyard door and asked Mahmud if his mother had returned from the market. Here is I have written RETURNED, returned. That is second form of what? Return. However, Mahmud did not answer as he was dead. Ali was not getting answer from the Mahmud because Mahmud was dead. The writer says that when Mahmud did not respond to Ali's question, Ali came forward and realized that the old man Mahmud was dead. He ran to the door and into the street looking for his mother. At the same time, there was a blow of a wind which caught the torn kite that was stuck in the banyan tree. You know the story of this chapter. The kite was raised into the air by the wind, and the kite flew higher. Sorry, here it is what? The flew. FLEW. That means fly ka second form. The kite flew higher into the sky, away from the struggling life of the city, and disappeared into the blue sky. In the same way, Mahmud also left his body for the heavenly abode. In this way, we have completed this also. Now we have one more important passage, and this one is the last passage. And the knit dash like the veena. Reference. The lines have been taken from the lesson The Kite Maker, written by Ruskin Bond. Same as you know very well. Now context. Mahmud, the great kite maker, had made the dragon kite, and it was said that it possessed supernatural power. It pulled fiercely on the twin, and Mahmud's two sons had to help him. इतना ज़्यादा ये हैवी था कि महमूद के 2 बेटों को भी इसमें हेल्प करना पड़ा. Then he became able to balance this special kite. You will understand when you will see the explanation part. At last, the twin broke and the dragon kite leapt into the air. It continued sailing in the sky, and the kite was moving into the sky here and there. Then at last it disappeared forever and ever. और अंततः हमेशा हमेशा के लिए वो जो एक काइट सबकी आंखों से ओझल हो जाता है. Later on, Mahmud, surprised that he had made a kite which was a great thing. It was like a living thing. It was really unique. Besides, he had made a musical kite. He presented it to the Nawab. In this way, we have completed all the important passages and their explanation. In my next class, I will explain all the short answer type questions and their answer. And after that, I will give you some work to do. And whatever will be rest question, that will be done by you only. If you will be not able to do, then kindly let me know. I will help you. Thank you very much, class.